Guys, does this chart look good to you? To me, it looks kind of good and bad at the same time, and we're talking here about the chart of Zilliqa Crypto, Zilliqa blockchain, and it is actually, guys, the first ever blockchain to introduce sharding in the world of crypto. What Ethereum actually had in its plans since like 2016, 2017, and they still don't have it. Zilliqa actually was the first ever to launch a mainnet having sharding in early 2020, and after them we've had a bit more like Elrond, Harmony 1, and a few more. But guys, today we're gonna discuss none other than Zilliqa, the first ever sharding protocol, and now they have some other big plans such as Metapolis that we're gonna discuss as well. And we're gonna discuss like, what is it? Was it a successful coin? Is it gonna be a successful coin by 2025? And could it be a good opportunity for the next bull run, or is it actually a pretty dead coin, and was the performance was lackluster, and does it really say to us, nah, it's not really a good coin? So everything, all of that in today's video. Okay guys, so first of all, let's discuss the technical analysis for the short term to mid term when it comes to Zilliqa, analyzing what it has done so far in its price history. And after that, we're gonna, later in the video, we're gonna discuss what is the fundamental potential of Zilliqa, and can it really obliterate all technical analysis out of the window and just explode in a huge way. We're gonna discuss that later in the video. But first of all, guys, as I've mentioned, let's have a look on the technical analysis. So why do I like and dislike it at the same time? So when it comes to Zilliqa, we can actually go here on CoinGecko and maybe see a little bit of a better information. So as you can see, guys, Zilliqa last bull run really was actually a bit of an early bloomer, really, okay? After it collapsed in a major way here in March 2020, let me do logarithmic so we see better. After it collapsed in a huge way here, you see it literally did here from like 0.3 to 0, almost a 10x, like in March, June 2020. Now, why is that super significant, guys? Because like it basically had a bull run on its own, and that's a really, really important thing for us to understand in the rest of the video, because coins that are having bull runs kind of on their own is really rare, and we have to pay attention when we see something like that. So in the past, that's something that really got my attention in a big way with Zilliqa once it literally had this bull run on its own in May, June 2020. And again, that was really major because like the rest of crypto only had a major bull run later here in DeFi summer of 2020, which was like in August, and then of course over here. So this is like really the good part about Zilliqa, okay? So that we know that Zilliqa has the possibility and the has the power to really pump on its own once the market is decent, once the market is good, and it literally did almost a 10x on its own before. And actually it had done something relatively similar here in March of 2022. It wasn't a 10x, but it was again like a major move. Zilliqa was one of the main movers, especially from the top 100 coins at these times, and it again did something like a 5x. So that's something that we have to remember, that Zilliqa can out of nowhere pump really incredibly. But let me show you one of the main things that we have to understand that Zilliqa has to do in order to pump this hard. Okay, so let's analyze these two pumps that Zilliqa actually had. Okay, and this is again gonna be a short to mid-term analyzing. Okay, so similarly to some other cryptocurrencies in 2020 here, you see. So why do I like to use the moving averages of the 21-week EMA, 20-week SMA, and 200 daily moving average? Just because it showed a lot of success in the past in analyzing trend reversals for crypto. Okay, so as you can see, Zilliqa here was in a bear market, and you know it was a long one. So it started even before July 2018 here, as we can see in CoinGecko, way back in February 2018. You see, it was in a big bear market, and then you can see that these lines like were kind of pushing Zilliqa down and down and down, and basically Zilliqa collapsed like 90% when it, in 2018. But then, guys, the important thing is that, okay, it had a major bottom in this big COVID collapse that just everything like was obliterated in a big way, and it collapsed to 0.3. And then, guys, you can see how strongly it like pushed up in the beginning of May into all of these resistance levels. It struggled here a little bit and then continued higher. Okay, so once it really started to get into these resistance levels and had all of this, you know, energy to keep going higher, it was around 0.6 for Zilliqa. Okay, So actually my first ever buy of Zilliqa was approximately here in the very beginning of May, once it started breaching these levels here. Okay, I literally bought Zilliqa in the first time somewhere here, something and then a little bit more after it like held this support level here at 0.6 and 0.7. And then really shortly afterwards, just only 1 month after, it already did something like another 5x, which was absolutely insane. And then of course we've had the general crypto bull market, and it really made it all its way to like 25 cents. So that was a pretty nice trade in the past. And again, so similarly, what I'm trying to say here is that similarly this time, you see, so Zilliqa again has some struggles here at these levels, okay? So far, it's actually been rejected. It's really important because, guys, actually many other altcoins are actually being rejected at the moment from these levels. You can see like Syscoin, GMT, Quant actually should be above it. You see VeChain, Solana, Avalanche. So many coins are currently being rejected from this level, including Zilliqa. So I won't be too excited way too soon before we convincingly stay above these levels. But again, non-financial advice. Short to midterm, if Zilliqa does consolidate above these levels of the 21-week EMA and 20-week SMA, and also again, as an addition, I also use the 200-day moving average for sort of extra certainty, but currently the 200-day moving average is a bit higher at 3 cents at the moment. But if Zilliqa in the short term is able to consolidate here, as we've said, let's say in like February, March, April, then yeah, it definitely can make a crazy move like here again. And as you can see, last time we're gonna discuss Metapolis, as I've mentioned later in the video, but over here, guys, actually we've had the big sort of news about Zilliqa launching Metapolis, and it created a major pump here. And you see, last time it just absolutely breached, like in a crazy way, these important resistance levels, and literally did here, as we've mentioned, something like a 5x. But guys, the really important thing, guys, okay, you really need to understand the difference between here in May 2020 and March 2022, okay? As you can see, in May 2020, first of all, crypto was already correcting out of its major bear market, okay? So the general crypto was in a much better position, which we may start having it now, but we'll have to keep looking. And again, last time, you see, it didn't really explode in too much of a major way. It had a decent pump, and then it had it held as support, okay? So it was resistance before, it held these levels as support, and then it continued going much higher, and then all of this move was much more sustained, okay? So then Zilliqa consolidated at prices that are much higher than here. But in 2022, this is not what happened, because first of all, we were still at the major bear market, okay, the beginning of the bear market, and you see, over here it literally like exploded. Look, guys, it's a daily chart, okay? So it literally just exploded here in 1 day, and I personally, like, I didn't touch Zilliqa at all over here. Maybe I could have done some decent gains here, but you know, normally I like to, like, one of the main reasons why I like to do these videos here, especially now, guys, in the bear market, because I'm more interested in the gains like here, okay? Like starting somewhere here and then selling somewhere here, okay? And by the way, I sold most of my Zilliqa over here. Unfortunately, not really here at like 20 something cents, but still, you know, quite decent, like 11, 12 cents, still much higher than what it is today. So this is the goal, guys. Like, I try to catch really the major big long-term moves, like from here to here, and not these really short ones that like really collapse really quickly, and literally still Zilliqa was able to make even lower lows from here. So that being said, if Zilliqa again explodes out of nowhere and in just 1 day obliterates all resistance levels, to me it won't be a great sign, and it would mean that maybe there could be a bit more upside, right? Like we've had here from 10 cents to 20 cents, but generally, you know, like this will collapse. So this one was a bad example, as we can see, of course, and the May 2020 was an awesome example because it was relatively more quiet and just like breached its way, held the support, and continued. So for the short to midterm, for the next few months, January to March, April, this is basically what I'm gonna look at. Like, is it like, first of all, is it actually getting rejected, and are we even gonna get lower lows, or just gonna get back here and consolidate a little bit more here at the 2 cents? Does it gonna like explode in a crazy way like here, which to me is not gonna be a great sign, or is it gonna do what it did in May 2020, which was the best, when it like slightly kind of got above it, held it as support, and then bam, exploded like a 4 or 5x. That's gonna be super interesting, and I'm gonna monitor that, and once we have a bit more information, we're definitely gonna do a follow-up video to see how Zilliqa has done. So guys, that was the short to mid-term about Zilliqa. Now guys, let's discuss a little bit really the why Zilliqa actually didn't succeed so greatly in the last bull run. What can it do to succeed next bull run, and do they focus at the right places? Okay, so guys, first of all, let me show you, let's maybe discuss really the second move that Zilliqa has had here. Okay, so it had this major pump here, right? But then Zilliqa had another major pump from, like, again, from 2 cents, the current levels, to another like 10x, 20 something cents. Okay, and basically here what Zilliqa has done, Zilliqa, after we've had the DeFi summer of 2020 on Ethereum, chains like Zilliqa, Matic, BSC started having their own DEXs and their own DeFi, and Zilliqa launched their DEX, ZilSwap, in October, November 2020. And as you can see, relatively shortly afterwards, again, Zilliqa was like in up-only trajectory. And why is that also another really important thing, guys, that I also want to mention, is that, check this out, that as I mentioned, Zilliqa was a little bit of an early bloomer last bull run, and you can see that like most of the move actually happened here, let's say up until January 2021. And as you can see from here to here, we've only had like a 3x really. But from November to January, it did something like a 5x, okay, thanks to the DEX that it had of ZilSwap, okay. Now, what I want to show you guys, I just want to compare, for example, with Matic, okay. Matic was one of the major success stories of the last bull run, and you can see, look at Matic, this is January 2021, okay. So after Zilliqa already did a 5x thanks to its new success of DeFi back then, Matic still was like literally sideways throughout all of this time, and then it did like 100x, you know, from here to here, because then Matic became super successful with their DeFi ecosystem. That being said, guys, this is another thing that we'll have to really remember, that Zilliqa could, again, we don't know yet, but it, again, if it will have again bull runs of its own, like in June 2020, it could again be a little bit of an early bloomer. So it's another really important thing that we have to remember. If it does something like that again, similarly like in the last bull run, it means that it can be again an early bloomer, only had like something like a 3, 4, 5x left to the top, but then maybe some other coins still will be able to do like another 100x, okay. And then, guys, I want to really discuss why Zilliqa actually underperformed other coins like Solana or Matic, okay. And why did it underperform it? Because as you can see, guys, Zilliqa topped here in April 2021, and then in November, this is November 2021, okay, so it like still remained like 2x less than the price it was in April 2021. But as we've mentioned, other blockchains like Solana or Avalanche or many others, you see, they've reached $46, for example, Solana here at May, and then in November it was 200 and something, another extra 5x. Avalanche did something like extra 3x, okay. Many blockchains, layer 1 blockchains, actually had a major move in November, which Zilliqa didn't have, and it was really important underperformance that we have to mention that was done by Zilliqa, because its DeFi ecosystem just literally started dying, okay. And now, guys, have a look at ZilSwap chart, okay. Like I actually was received the airdrop of ZilSwap, so I was pretty early with ZilSwap stuff, but guys, like, just have a look here. Like, it was 700 and something, and it's worth now $1. Okay, like, it was an absolute collapse in its DeFi, and like, you know, most of the DeFi ecosystems really collapsed in 2022 after the Terra Luna collapse. But the important thing, guys, is that, look, this is November 2021, okay. So like, when all the other DeFi was still thriving thanks to their incentives that they were doing with Aave on Matic, Aave on Avalanche, and then we've had Benki, ZilSwap actually collapsed in a big way, And also have a look here at the TVL, guys. Look, the TVL was really amazing in May 2021, 200 and something million, and that's really the TVL that I was remember really from yield farming on ZilSwap. And then it just like went down and didn't really recover in a major way, and now it's $4 to $5 million. Okay, so that's really major. That's really like the fundamental reason why Zilliqa underperformed throughout all of this time. And in addition, for example, Solana and a few others were also successful, also because they've had a lot of NFT success and NFT activity going on their chains, which also helped a lot, having many more people just buying Solana because they need to do stuff on the blockchain of Solana. So basically, guys, what I'm trying to summarize here with Zilliqa's success in the last bull run, it was an early bloomer. It was really successful in 2020, and also it was pretty early with DeFi, okay? And that's why it also succeeded here in the first part of 2021. But in NFTs, they weren't as successful as others, and they didn't have like a major, lending protocol like Aave on their chain, and a lot of like degen mania with their DeFi, and their DeFi just collapsed way too quickly. Excuse me, I wanted to go here. It just collapsed way too quickly, and and that's why Zilliqa underperformed really. So okay, guys, so this was the part of what Zilliqa has done so far, and we also discussed the short to mid-term potential of Zilliqa. Now, most importantly and most interestingly, let's discuss the long-term potential of Zilliqa. And guys, we do have to really give Zilliqa's credit where credit is due. Zilliqa does seem like a project that is really innovating a lot. Okay, when it comes to their technology, it's an absolutely it's one of the best blockchains out there. Okay, so when it comes to technology, Zilliqa is an absolute no-brainer. But the important thing, guys, is that just like in Web 2, just the fact that something is the absolute best technology, it doesn't mean it's gonna be the most successful. There's many other elements that are also important. But of course, this is the very least that you need. You need to function in a good technology. So Zilliqa definitely has that. But what I want to mention is where the credit is due for Zilliqa is that they are normally really catching the big momentum shifts in crypto and the big narratives that are coming up. Okay, so as we mentioned, they were pretty early with their DeFi. They kind of missed the NFT. I guess they tried to do something with NFT, but they missed it in a way. But they did definitely realize that all of this move to the metaverse is really only starting. Okay, and in my personal opinion, it's like extremely early. Okay, like even by the next bull run of 2025, personally, again, like the way I see it, I'm not even sure that it's still gonna be really big by then. Like maybe we're gonna have some really crazy pumps with anything related to metaverse, but like I mean fundamentally I don't really see the whole metaverse type of ecosystem being developed by 2025, and more importantly also adopted, because so many people actually didn't like it when Facebook announced it. So it feels like a large portion of the population still doesn't like the whole metaverse thing. But as the younger generation become older and older, still the way I see it, metaverse is probably gonna be here to stay, and it's gonna be a very major part of everyone's lives probably. So guys, the important thing guys is that Zilliqa already in the beginning of 2022 wanted to really get to the metaverse play, and they are definitely early with that as well. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is just like they were early with DeFi last time, I think with when it comes to metaverse, they are definitely in a very good position, especially the fact that they want to do not only virtual reality but also augmented reality, which in my opinion can actually be adopted a little bit sooner than virtual reality in the beginning. But anyway, they are definitely, I guess, the next internet. This is one of the best ways to describe. Now, look, guys, what I want to mention is that trying to be one of the main metaverse plays of the whole world is a really ambitious game that Zilliqa is trying to play here. So basically, if it's either not going to be successful at all, because like just maybe something else is going to be adopted, maybe Facebook's metaverse, maybe some other decentralized metaverses and other blockchains, But if they're gonna be successful in something that is gonna be one of the major things how people are gonna interact in the future, and if most people are actually gonna use Metapolis, they're gonna use Zilliqa's Metaverse, then of course, guys, the sky is the limit for Zilliqa. Now, I would even go as far as to say as that Metapolis is one of the main reasons why, even though Zilliqa has had like technical lackluster performance in the, let's say, last year and a half, just because of that, fundamentally, I think Zilliqa still, at least should have a little bit of interest, because it can still explode in a major way. And I mean, again, if they're gonna be successful with that, Zilliqa can literally be in the top 10 of the blockchains in the world in the future. So that's what gives them major potential. Now, the second thing that I want to mention that is also pretty nice with Zilliqa is actually the fact that it looks like their two main projects right now on their ecosystem when it comes to market cap are actually XCAD and Opal. And why is that interesting to me, guys? Because like, if you've been following my channel, one of the narratives that I think could be really successful in the next bull run can be social tokens, and XCAD could be one of the main projects that are actually leading the way for the success of social tokens, and Opal could be another one. So the interesting thing, guys, is that right now there aren't that many social tokens projects out there. You do have Chili's that they build their own blockchain. You do have Block Asset on Solana, and XCAD on Zilliqa. And XCAD is actually multi-chain right now, but they're still kind of Zilliqa native. So the interesting thing, guys, is that actually, if social tokens is gonna be really successful next bull run, and if Zilliqa will have even more and more social tokens projects adopted on their blockchain, similarly with DeFi, or similarly with chains that were successful with NFTs, like Solana, if social tokens is gonna be successful, this could be another major thing that will lead many people to buy a lot of ZIL, because they'll have to operate on the general social tokens ecosystem that Zilliqa has. So guys, to sum up the long-term potential of Zilliqa before we get to the price prediction, this is the two things that I'm mostly bullish on Zilliqa, and this is the main two reasons why I think Zilliqa is still really important to keep on the radar and to keep following what Zilliqa is doing, because they can be a major social tokens blockchain play in the future by the next bull run, and for even many bull runs after that, they are attempting to be one of the main plays for Metaverse, okay, for with the Metapolis project that they have. And of course, that being said, this is why actually this is going to be one of my most difficult really price prediction videos so far. None of this is financial advice as always, but this is going to be a difficult price prediction really, because we just don't know how excuse me, how successful is it really going to be, the Metaverse and also the social tokens. Do they gonna have even more social tokens, or do more social tokens going to be launched in different chains? So let's just go from the most conservative to the more degen, I guess, predictions. Okay, so first of all, let's start with if really, if fundamentally nothing really goes that well for Zilliqa, okay, then I think at the very least Zilliqa should have a decent potential getting to 20-something cents once again, and then like have something like a triple top of like 3 different bull runs. Okay, so like if the social tokens is not gonna be successful at all, and if the Metaverse is not gonna be successful, and if also if Zilliqa won't be able to kind of produce bull runs of its own, just like in 2020. So, probably Zilliqa will still be able to kind of trend up together with the rest of crypto, and still reach the highs that it had again, here at like 20-something cents, which would make it, let's round that up to 25 cents really. Right now it's 2.5, so it's a 10x from the moment I record the video. This, I would say, would be the kind of conservative price prediction for Zilliqa for the next bull run in 2024, 2025, or wherever the year is gonna be. Excuse me. But now, guys, let's say the Metaverse is still not gonna be successful at all, okay, either for Zilliqa specifically or just in general. But let's say the social tokens is gonna be huge, and XCAD is gonna be absolutely killing it, and one of the major, and XCAD is also gonna get to something like top 50 coins of the world, and Opal is going to be more successful, and more social tokens will be launched on Zilliqa, and Zilliqa will be known as one of the major social tokens blockchains of the world. Then, guys, we're talking, of course, about the way I see it. I think something like $1 for Zilliqa is going to be a relatively easy target. Again, it's more difficult to calculate something like that because it's things that haven't really materialized yet. So it depends on if really fundamental stuff will happen the way it could happen. But let's just say if social tokens will be a big thing on Zilliqa, I think $1 for Zilliqa is gonna be quite a decent target, which is approximately a 25x from now. And lastly, guys, of course, if now we're gonna discuss if the Metapolis is gonna be a huge success, and if they are gonna be one of the main decentralized metaverse plays that people are using in the world. If Zilliqa is gonna be really successful in that, guys, then, like, you know, of course $10 or something like that could also be possible, but that could maybe even happen by the bull run after that, like 2030 or so. And of course it could be much higher. Of course, over here, like if the metaverse is gonna be really successful, the really price itself is really hard to predict because it also depends on the rest of crypto, how successful and adopted it is by them. But generally, just, you know, we can look at it like that. So Zilliqa right now, if we compare just to the current market conditions, Zilliqa right now is ranked 95, okay? And its market cap is 405 million market cap. So the current top 10 project, Polygon Matic, is 8.6 billion, okay? So in current market conditions, it's already a 20x. So let's say if just Zilliqa fundamentally was as strong right now, they would have been 20x from now, okay? And a 20x from now is like, what is it? So a 10x is 25 cents, and it's 50 cents, okay? So if Zilliqa was a similar market cap to Polygon, it would have been at 50 cents right now for Zilliqa. But of course, let's have a look, for example, at Solana, that they peaked at the last bull run at the top 10, and their market cap was actually a little bit under 100, 75 billion market cap, okay, in the top of the last bull run, and they were a top 10 coin. So going back to Zilliqa, 75 billion, guys. So a 41 billion is 100x from now, so it's gonna be a 2.5 dollar Zilliqa. And if it's excuse me, 75 billion is gonna be almost a 200x, and then it will be a $5 Zilliqa, really, okay? So just to wrap our hands around that, if Zilliqa was in the top 10 of crypto like Solana, and if it would have reached the same market cap as Solana in the last bull run of 2021, it would have been $5, okay? And that was just the last bull run, guys. Of course, so like the 2025 bull runs and the next bull runs, the top 10 coins are gonna have even higher market caps than 2021. So this is the reason why it's really difficult to assess if the Metapolis is gonna be a huge success. What price prediction could Zilliqa have? Because it just depends, like how much did the crypto really got adopted, and how much the general total crypto market cap is getting higher. But generally speaking, guys, like, let's put it like this: if the metaverse has the potential of getting Zilliqa to the top 10 of the overall crypto market, just like by 2021's top valuations, Zilliqa could be a $5 coin, which is 200x from now. And you know, of course, by the next bull runs, it could be much more. So we can just really kind of say without any problem that, like, if Metaverse is going to be really successful on the Zilliqa blockchain, a $5 Zilliqa is going to be actually a conservative prediction. And I'm going to stick to the $5 because, again, it's difficult to predict anything beyond that. But again, guys, like, the important last thing that I have to say is that, again, we're only saying if this person here and other persons are gonna be here in the Metapolis, and if the Metapolis is gonna thrive. then yeah, then I think Zilliqa like a 200x or much more is gonna be a relatively easy target. So guys, once again, I want to thank you for joining me here for another Sunday video. I'm here every single Sunday, and I have a relatively new channel. I'm gonna be making more frequent videos when we're gonna be closer to equivalent times to 2020. Just like here, you see like many cryptos became a huge opportunity in 2020. So we're gonna see either it's gonna happen later this year or maybe the beginning of next year. We're gonna see in the general market what does crypto do. But yeah, guys, you're very welcome to join me on this nice journey analyzing really nice altcoins. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and a fantastic week ahead. And cheers as always.